This is The Reader, and right now we're on the website of Credit Info Center, and we're going to read an article entitled Seemingly Innocent Ways You Can Lower Your Credit Score, written by Christy Welsh. And I will put a link in the description field of this video that brings you directly to this article, but also be sure to check out the other resources in the description field of this video that can help you when it comes to repairing your credit, building your credit, as well as monitoring your credit. But let's go ahead and read. Credit repair information and credit repair misinformation is available on the internet, and even more bad advice can be had when listening to friends and family. One person says to do this and then another says to do that, when in actuality, you really have to look at your own situation and determine what credit repair tactics will work for you. There may be some financial moves you have made or are going to make that at first glance may seem harmless, but in the long run can really do a number on your credit. You might not realize the significant fallout to the following seemingly insignificant financial moves until it's too late. This article is meant to set the record straight and try to steer you in the right direction when it comes to repairing your credit. Here we touch on 5 of the most common mistakes people make when fixing their credit, which leads to lowering their credit score. Keeping a zero balance. I know we beat it into your head that you should be paying off your debts, but paying off a credit card completely every month does not help your credit score. It doesn't hurt it either. When you pay off your credit card and have a zero balance on this line of credit, it does not factor into your credit utilization ratio. This ratio is the percentage of your credit limit that is being used and factors to 30% of your credit score. Here's how to calculate your credit utilization ratio. 1. Locate your credit card balance and credit limit on your last billing statement. 2. Divide the credit card balance by the credit card limit. 3. Multiply that number by 100, and the lower this number, the better. Leaving a small balance on your card each month will help to increase your credit score. Oddly, your credit score can actually drop when you bring a card balance down to 0. Go figure. Keeping a high balance. Now, on the other side of the spectrum, having a high balance on your credit card is not good for your score either. As I mentioned already, the amount you owe on your accounts determines about 30% of your credit score. Lenders consider those who use a low percentage of their credit, say around 35% or less, to be a low risk. And being a low credit risk means getting lower interest rates on your loans. Spending 80 to 90% of your available credit limit will negatively affect your credit score. As we saw in the calculations above, having a high credit card balance will equate to having a higher credit utilization ratio, which will lower your credit score. Moral of the story, keep your balances low, but not at 0. Negotiate a lower annual percentage rate. Negotiate a lower annual percentage rate on your credit card may seem like a smart move for cutting expenses and boosting your savings account. But when you do, ensure that your creditor doesn't reduce your credit limit. If that happens, it could affect your credit utilization ratio and lead to a drop in points. Closing a credit card account. If you're scrimped and struggle to pay off a card, your initial reaction may be to cut up the plastic and close the account. Resist the urge. Various factors are taken into account when calculating your creditworthiness, and 15% of your score is determined by the length of your credit history. By closing an account, especially an older one, you shorten your credit history. The more established accounts you have, the higher your credit score. Credit card companies also look at how much of your available credit you are using. Example, your credit utilization rate. As we mentioned before, they like to see 35% or less of your credit in use at any one time. Paying off a credit card and leaving it open improves your utilization score, but closing it can do just the opposite. Applying for new credit. We're not saying to never apply for new credit, just make sure to do so very gingerly. Every time you apply for a new credit card, car loan, or cell phone plan, someone is going to pull your credit. This credit inquiry constitutes a hard inquiry, which is likely to ding your credit score. So if you're looking for a good interest rate, which means you're rate shopping, make sure every lender you visit is not pulling your credit first. Make your final decision before having your credit pulled by the lender, so that way there'll be only one hard inquiry on your credit report. It may seem like maintaining a good credit score is hopeless, but there are ideals you can strive for to achieve a good credit rating. Naturally, some of the above mentioned transactions are easier to avoid than others, By knowing the threat they pose to your credit, you can better understand when those moves really make sense. To sum it up, the ideal number of loans or credit lines open is 6 to 21. The ideal number of credit inquiries is 0 to 3 in the last 6 months. When shopping for the best interest rates, having the lender to do a soft pull of your credit. A 5+ year credit history is ideal. The longer the credit line is open, the better. 5 to 85% credit line utilization is ideal. Again, you don't want the balance to be 0, nor do you want to have your credit card maxed out. Keeping these 5 common mistakes in mind while you are repairing your credit will save you lots of anguish down the road. There's nothing more frustrating than thinking you are doing the right thing when in actuality it is hurting your credit score. That concludes our article here entitled Seemingly Innocent Ways You Can Lower Your Credit Score, written by Christy Welsh. Again, I will put the link in the description field of the video to bring you directly to this article. And again, be sure to also check the description field of this video for other resources when it comes to repairing your credit, monitoring your credit, and building your credit. But until we meet again, you guys have yourselves a great day.